Hi everyone, my name is Karen Santiago and today we are going to be talking to arrays and array list. Let's jump to it, okay? We don't want to waste any time. Okay, so arrays. The definition I provided with was a container object that holds a fixed number of values to have a single data type. So, what exactly does this mean? Well, exactly what it sounds like, honestly. An object that can store a group of values all of the same type. Let me give you a quick example, okay, so you can understand it a bit better. So, this is my example. It's like we have this row that has 3 slots. So this is the row, and then these are the slots. Slot A, slot B, and slot C. We can put an int in each one of them. So 63, 28, and 93. But something to remember is that as soon as we put an int in slot A, we have to put an int on slot B and C. We can also do the same for a string. It will look something like this. Oh, and something before I change the slide is that this is just showing that slot A and slot B and slot C are making up the array int. Okay. Same as the array int, we can put a string in each one of the slots. And I forgot to put A, B, and C. Sorry about that. As soon as we put a string in slot A, we have to do the same for the rest of the slots. So this is also just showing that slot A, pink, slot B, blue, and slot C, red, make up the array string. Okay, I want to mention that these data structures have a fixed length. So if the array starts off with a length of 3 objects, there being slots 0, slot 1, and slot 2, it's going to stay that way. So with the array, even though in the previous one we mentioned that it had 3, so the pink, blue, and red, it always starts off with a 0. So there's still 3, but it just starts off with a 0. So 0, 1, 0, this is 0, 1 is over here, and then 2 is over here. And then since you provided with 3, as I said, it has a fixed length, so you can't change it. There's always going to be 3 unless, obviously, you make up a new array. Caution! If you declare your array an int, you cannot put strings or other in it. So by other, I mean like a character or something like that. It's either an int or a string or whatever type of data structure you decide to put. It cannot be both or mixed, okay? That is very important because if you do that, it's probably just going to give you an error. Sorry about that. Okay, so next slide. I'll give you an example of an array, okay? This is my example. So in this example we did an array type int. As I said, you could do the same for a string, but I decided to do an int. We named it team, so the class is ages, and we named it team. We put square brackets to tell Java that we are working with an array, and then we set it equal to new over here because it's a new array, okay? And then again an int right over here, and again square brackets, but this time we put the number of variables that we're storing in our array. So in this case, as we did with the other ones, I chose 3. And then we have our indexes with our stored values, so and then their own values. And then the system.out.println parentheses ages brackets 2. So that's just saying that we want to output whatever is on slot 2. So as I said on the other slide, it is 0, but it's technically like 1, 2, 3. But age is 2, so we go to Oh, snaps. You know what? This was supposed to be team. So sorry about that. Really sorry. So team, okay, guys? So team 2. And then the output would be 19. Okay. We can also do an array initializer. An array initializer, it initializes all our arrays without having to type the array name, subscript value, and all those other things that we did in the other one. So then here's a quick example. So you see how in here, what this does is that instead of having to tell the array how many values you want to store in it, it automatically counts how many values you put in it. So it technically saves us a bit of work. And then, yeah, and then here's the correct way. The other one I put ages, sorry about that. And then it does the same output, 19. Okay, so let's do array list now. My teacher actually had a really good definition of array list in her PowerPoint, so I just decided to go with that one. It's a variable length collection class, dynamically allocates and delocates its size, and it dynamically allocates arrays. So this one's actually like a bit bigger. Let me give you a quick example about those, because it's better to just show you examples. It's more easier to understand with the examples, honestly. Okay, so declaring an array list using default. Okay, so this is how you declare it at the beginning of your program. So something that really is different than just the array is that it has an import java.util array list, and the other one doesn't. You can just write it, but if you don't include this, it will give you a red error. So array list is the data type. The string is the object type we are working with. The list is the array list name. New, isolated declaring we're working with a new array, and then the constructor call. And as I said, this one declares a new array list at the beginning of the program, and this is usually how you write it out. Alrighty, well, thank you very much for being with me and following through my PowerPoint, and I hope you have a better understanding of arrays and array list. Thank you very much. Bye.